Wealth is what you own minus any debt. There is a wealth gap between non-disabled people and people with disabilities. People with disabilities, we have high rates of poverty, and we're more likely to be unemployed than people without disability. And then when you break that down by race, there's an even larger wealth gap. So in order to be eligible for home and community-based services, you may have to have a certain poverty level, or you may have to have a certain income level. But then once you get above that, you're no longer eligible to receive home and community-based services. But then you also still can't afford them. It's very rare that people are able to transfer out of poverty and into economic independence and sustainability when they have to prove that they're poor and that they're completely dependent in order to get services. And if we require people to be completely destitute in order to have access to benefits, then we put them at a disadvantage because they'll never be able to get out of that. They'll never be able to save enough money so that they're not poor anymore. My grandparents both had master's degrees, and they had master's degrees in a time where it's really rare for Black people to have those things. But because they were African American, they were not able to economically benefit from their education in the way that they would have if they were white. And so I grew up in a low-income family in subsidized housing in Philadelphia. You know, I went to college. I got some scholarships. When it came to graduate school, there was no federal support that I knew of that would help to offset the cost of graduate education. Yes, I have a PhD, and I'm really glad about that, but I have a great deal of debt, and it's a big concern for me. Also, I would like to have home and community-based a personal care assistant, but I'm not allowed to have more than about, from what I know, about $17,000 in my account if I want to do that. And like that's not motivating because how am I supposed to pay off my $200,000 loan if I can't have, more than say $17,000 in my account? And how am I ever going to own a house? How am I ever going to buy a car and do all the things that people who work hard to get a PhD are supposed to be able to have? And this is not me complaining, because I am privileged compared to most people who have my racial, ethnic, disability, gender status, right, as a Black woman with disability. But it just goes to show that even with all of my knowledge, and even I have not been able to get out of this this system of disadvantage. One thing you can do is just educate yourself, read more about the racial wealth gap and about disability and economic inequality. But we don't have anything to lose. We have everything to gain by creating a more equitable society, because there's a big cost if we don't. And we're seeing that with COVID-19, that we can't afford to have large segments of our population that are so economically disadvantaged, because it puts us all at risk.